But without anything in committee, in some kind of magical formula, in the last few hours, they've raised the taxes to 3.8% on unearned income, which is a direct attack on those who've saved for annuities in America. We have spent years trying to encourage people to save. Now, at the last minute, we're going to dump an additional tax on them, already concerned about whether they're going to be able to survive as they hit their older age. I happen to represent Lincoln Financial that has 1,900 jobs in the annuities industry in my district. You just wonder, how many jobs is this bill going to kill? It is incredible what is being done in this bill. Not only are they punishing people who've saved, who plan to save and discourage savings, but they're going to eliminate or at least restrict the growth and lead to a decline in industries like that. Furthermore, I represent 3 of the 4 biggest orthopedic companies in the world. Here's an area where we bought the biggest companies in Germany and Switzerland and around the world. We've become the technology leaders. So what are we going to do? We're going to tax them. They have 2 choices. The tax is equivalent of half of their R&D. They can either move the jobs and all the parts jobs that go with it, tens of thousands of jobs overseas, or they can eliminate R&D. And our senior citizens in the future won't know what they're missing in hip replacement. They won't know whether we would have had new spinal equipment. They won't know what other types of savings they'll miss, because this administration proposes to put a tax on that will kill, most likely, future development. And then there's this whole thing about the very people who claim to be the founders and the protectors of Medicare are trying to come up and pay for this bill with reductions in Medicare. Now, they talk about the insurance companies and Medicare Advantage, but what does it mean when it says increased utilization of equipment? Well, I've found out from the cardiologists in my district what it means is that they have to get at least 80% utilization on the equipment. That means that the only hospitals in Indianapolis, in Indiana, that will have heart equipment are in Indianapolis. Everything in Fort Wayne, South Bend, all over the state are going to have to close. In oncology, because they're getting close to 40% utilization and the administration is claiming 80, they're going to consolidate in just the biggest cities for oncology. In category after category, on the backs of senior citizens, saying, just like they too often do for veterans, is you have to get in a car and go 200 miles if you want to have something treated on your heart. You have to go 200 miles if you want to do oncology. You have to go 200 miles if you're going to use equipment, because small town, mid-sized cities, and even the second biggest city in the state of Indiana isn't good enough to have utilization of this type of equipment. We didn't have this debate. That's why you don't go fast on bills. One of the things we do in the United States is we've driven our health care out to the second tier, the third tier, to small cities and towns, hospitals at 13 to 15,000, to ready meds and things that are outpatient clinics. What this does is reconsolidate, provides jobs for government employees, but reconsolidates in the bigger cities, just like it does in Canada and England. That's why they have waits. That's why small towns and people out in the countryside in those areas that in the other countries have long waits. Because if you're trying to get high utilization on fewer pieces of equipment, it means your health care is less dispersed around the United States. So in one bill, somehow, we're managing to kill the motive to save by taxing it more, to kill the one category that we are leading the world in orthopedics, and to destroy health care for seniors.